Do, 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 boom. Sharing it to Tony's stream.
Where the hell is... Oh, right. I don't have it set on here. Fuck.
Alright, here we go. A lot of people joining us though. Alright, what's going on, gamers? Hotshot Gamer here. Welcome back. And today, I'm here joined back with this guy right here. Oh.
Hello.
Oh, wait, hang on. So yeah, pretty much.
I'm trying to find... Where the hell is it? Did it get rid of some of my emotes?
Shit. Okay, so pretty much for everyone joining in, so we're going to be continuing off our MCU discussion where we last left off. Me and this guy right here, we were talking about Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which you guys can check out my playlist on the... So you can get caught up on what movies we talked about in the MCU, so... Yeah, so now we're going to continue on where we last left off, and the next movie of Phase 3 is Spiderman Homecoming.
Indeed. Sorry,
So, yeah.
I'm like trying to find one of my emotes, and I can't seem to find it.
I'll join with this guy, why not? And of course, back again, I am dressed... Yep. I am dressed as Thor, and Isaac is back as Tony Stark, so... Yeah, I'm hoping maybe more people would join with us on the discussion page. Well, wait, maybe, I don't know if Tony would join us, or, I don't know, who knows. But, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so how about let's all sit down, pretty much get yourself some drinks, and, yeah. Let the discussion begin! Alright, so actually I wanna let Isaac to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming. Oh. Oh, wait.
Sit down. What the fuck just happened?
I double tapped, I guess? I don't know, but alright. Okay, you begin.
So I found Spider-Man Homecoming to be a very, very good movie.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people obviously give hate to Tom Holland on his roles of Spider-Man, or even as just Peter Parker. But even Stan Lee said that he was literally the perfect Spider-Man. He was exactly how he envisioned it.
Mm-hmm.
So, how they started it, I remember it was, I think it was after the attack on New York from the Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what was his name?
Adrian Toomes?
Yeah. Sorry, I just forgot his name because, you know. Yeah. But him and his crew were doing the wreckage for the battle that happened. And obviously they found some seriously high-tech alien shit, which was very dangerous, and I'm actually glad that the government, Tony's, what were they called again? I don't remember. Damage Control?
Yeah, Damage Control. Department of Damage Control, I think it's called, the full name.
I was glad that they did show up, because that's not exactly something that normal people should be dealing with. It should be handled by people that know what it is, know what it's capable of. But obviously, Toomes... So I felt bad for Toomes, because he was right about the fact that they're just doing their job, and they need to make money for their homes, for their families, to put food on the table.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he decided to take it, the direction he decided to take was not the smart one. Yes, he's doing it for his family, but it's just not smart. You're just putting yourself in danger. If you get caught, then there's no one to help your family.
Mm.
And it was interesting too because we know that the daughter, he had a drawing that she made, I believe, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Showing that off to his coworkers. That was kind of funny.
I think that coworker was Phineas Mason, the Tinkerer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's the guy that was working on all the gadgets and stuff, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that, not gonna lie. I haven't read the comics, so I didn't know that was the Tinkerer's name. I knew the Tinkerer was a character, but I didn't know that was his name.
Yeah. I think it should be, like... I thought you wouldn't know, because, like, you know, like, with Miles Morales, you know, Finn Mason, I think it was her name, and then, you know...
Yeah, but that was announced way later.
Mm. Okay, fair point.
Plus, they did change the gender of the Tinkerer, so the name was kind of shortened.
Mm.
But, I can't remember... Oh, yeah. So, obviously, the next scene, we see him flying in to their, I guess, hideout or something.
Mm-hmm.
With the vulture tech.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh my god, that was an interesting scene.
Yeah, I like it. I like the suit and wings.
Yeah, it's definitely different from the suit that he has in like PS4 games, and obviously way different from the comics. Being the freaking comics was like fucking spandex and some shit. But another factor to take from that is that even in the comics he was like super old, but in this he's like mid to late 30s or 40s, I'd say.
It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah.
Yeah.
And also to mention, like, he's been doing like the you know, selling weapons, you know, for about 8 years. I think that's what they said.
It's strange how they were able to keep that on the down low for so long.
Yeah.
And the fact that they even managed to do it that long, considering fucking I keep forgetting characters' names. What the hell? Shocker. The Shocker, the first Shocker,
Yeah.
kept on fucking showing them out in public, apparently. Like, Jesus Christ, Peter saw that from way across town. Not even town, just... He saw it from one district to, I'm assuming, another district. So, how the hell are they getting away with that shit?
Yeah. Oh, I got a comment here.
I feel like that's a big deal.
Okay, hold on. I got a comment said, what was that about the comics armor being spandex? I just joined. Okay, so we were kind of talking about how we actually like the vulture suit in the movie, and how it was kind of different from, you know, from the comics, obviously, and the you know, Spider-Man PS4 game. So,
speaking of the PS4 game, actually, I'm wondering, because obviously is the upgraded version that Doc Ock gave him. I want to see what suit he had before the upgrade Ock gave him.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
Okay, so, who was that under the bridge that was being sold to? I think that was Miles' uncle, right? Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron Davis. Yeah, but we're going way up ahead, so we need to stick
way ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
I can't remember what happened after everything, where we saw him wearing the suit for the first time. Not Spider-Man, Falcon. Not Falcon, god damn it. Sorry, I'm like getting my shit mixed up.
Oh man. Okay, so pretty much after the introduction of, you know, Vulture and his gang, we got to see like a little film that was being made by Peter Parker. You know how his trip is in Germany.
the events of Civil War.
Yeah.
And an interesting thing to note is that if you look at the actual movie in Civil War, when he jumps in, he says different lines. So like,
yeah,
when he enters in Civil War, he has one line, and then in Homecoming that line was changed for some reason.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit inconsistent, and just like the next scene when it cuts with Giant Man, like when in Homecoming he was saying like, "Oh shoot, he's really big now. I gotta go." But then in Civil War, we know what he said, pretty much.
Yeah, that scene was funny.
Yeah, I laugh. I never heard Spider-Man curse.
I think he cussed. He usually says "hellish" in that. Fuck. He usually says "hell," "damn," and I think a couple other things. Not like major bad words in the comics, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he does cuss in the comics, as far as I remember.
Yeah, I really love how like we kind of get to see like Peter's perspective of how what he was getting into like in the events of Civil War, because you know he was meeting with Happy, and then how the airport went, you know, with him getting on the plane. It was pretty funny, you know, waking up Happy, and then his reaction to his new suit, and of course when you got to see this.
Of Happy, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I respect Jon Favreau so much, but the way his character treats Peter,
that's just like, wow.
It's like, I understand it's like your big Asian guy in fucking with Tony Stark, and he's a kid, but it's your responsibility as long as Tony's not there to make sure he's not getting into dangerous situations. So he should have been paying so much more attention, because this is somebody that this is a guy that Tony wants to have taken care of.
And plus he is like starting out his superhero career.
Yeah. So the fact that Happy didn't take it seriously kind of irritates me.
Yeah.
So and the worst part is he didn't really take it seriously until Tony's death.
Yeah, but I think maybe it was actually kind of like after in the end of Homecoming.
Yeah, it's true.
Alright, someone commented, if I remember correctly, I think in the MTV Spider-Man show with Neil Patrick Harris as Peter, he cussed a bit more and said shit on a couple of occasions. Oh man, I have seen the show, but again, it's kind of been a while since I've even seen it, but yeah. Alright.
Well, that's Neil Patrick Harris for you.
And okay, so and then continuing off with the last of Peter's recording, you know, he was pretty much interacting with Tony Stark and how they were kind of wanting to make an alibi for, you know, their aunt, for Peter's aunt to know about the Stark internship.
You're wearing something skimpy.
Peter just turns around like, wait, what?
and then turn around. It's not Tony you gotta worry about, it's Happy.
Yeah. So yeah, and okay, I'm trying to remember. Okay, so after that, you know, they make that little video, and then, you know, pretty much Tony like informs Peter, you know, just like, you know, stay close to the ground, and
he lets him keep the suit. It's like, I can keep the suit.
Yes, we were just talking about that. Do me a favor though, Happy's kind of your guy of this, so don't stress him out. Don't do anything stupid. And yeah, honestly, I kind of wish, like, again, like Tony would have like kept more tabs with Peter, because, like, you know, again, it is also kind of his like responsibility to, you know, to keep an eye on him as well. You know, because like he hasn't really like
superhero and everything.
Yeah, and also like well, I'll talk about this later. I don't know if I should talk about it later, but it has to do, with the FBI on the ferry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of wish he would have kept it informed, how everything's going. Hey, don't worry, I got this covered. I got some couple of guys tracking them, and it's fine. Kind of wish it would have been like that instead of just not letting him know, because that would lead to
Yeah, because wasn't that Tony that obviously Tony had them there, but that would also mean that Happy had to have listened to him, because he would have had to have told Tony about what was the situation, and then Tony would have had to send people there. So why didn't he tell Peter, I have people taking care of it?
Yeah, that was kind of something a little bit bugging me about Tony in Homecoming.
But I am glad that he did show up himself, actually there, not in just all the way in fucking, where was he, fucking Dubai or something?
I think, I don't even know.
There was somewhere in the eastern deserts, I think.
Yeah.
But the fact that he actually did come back from there just to help out with that shows that he did give a little initiative and care, because he did come back to help Peter.
Mm-hmm.
The first time he helped, obviously it wasn't too big of a deal, other than he was almost gonna die. But this was a bigger deal. A lot of people would have died.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, after then of course a few months later we get to see kind of what Peter has to go through in in his school life. So he pretty much taking a little train to school, texting Happy while he was not responding. Sheesh. And yeah. Also we get to meet the introduction of this MCU's Flash Thompson, which that guy still irritates me.
I'm not gonna lie, after seeing him as a white guy in almost everything, it was a little weird to see him. What's his ethnicity? I don't know his ethnicity. Is he Indian?
Hang on, give me a sec. Sheesh, hang on, I got.
But it just felt weird to me. Plus, because he's supposed to be a big, strong jock kind of character, but he just looks almost like a twig.
Pretty much he's supposed to be now represented as this super fancy rich kid,
Yeah, but even it's weird too, because he's obviously on that team for the smart kids. I don't remember what that was called.
The academic decathlon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's weird seeing him on that too, because obviously, being the jock in most of the other ones, he was painted out as a weak-minded or just dumb character.
Yeah, but again, he's a rich kid. Pretty much, he would just tell his parents to just tell him what he wants, and they would just pay the school and all that crap.
Yeah, true, but it's he actually showed that he was somewhat smart in some scenes, and that was what makes it weird for me.
Mm-hmm. So, and then of course, really interesting enough is that now for this interpretation of Spider-Man, usually the Peter's best friend would be Harry Osborn, but this time it was actually a character called Ned Leeds, which is pretty much kind of this different interpretation of Genki,
Mm-hmm. Except Genki came after.
Yeah.
I mean, technically he wasn't Genki also in the comics?
I think he was, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Genki was actually in the Spider-Verse movie, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Him?
Yeah, it was him, and he was Miles' roommate.
I'm surprised they didn't show a lot of interaction between the two in the movie, not gonna lie.
Yeah, again, it was kind of Miles, he didn't want to, pretty much wanted to be in that school, until he decides yeah, you know what, yeah, I'll go for it and try to get to meet the people there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, pretty much, I love Ned Leeds. He was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I like his introduction with Emperor Palpatine.
We're all gonna die.
But I just love his little introduction by showing it a Lego Emperor Palpatine, together we will build my new Lego Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when Peter got home later, fucking he holding it, and he drops it and it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Like that had to have taken a lot of time only for it to fall and be destroyed.
Dude, honestly, I was kind of a bit devastated. I was like, oh man, dude, you built that. And oh yeah, and also someone says, fun fact, in the comics, Ned Leeds becomes the Hobgoblin. And also, interesting enough, there was something from, like, there's, like, I guess they're now promoting Spider-Man 3, and they had, like, you know, Ned and Betty together, and pretty much it shows, like, someone, like, draw, like, a little orange hat above Ned. So it's kind of hinting towards the Hobgoblin.
I mean, I kind of figured they were going to have him turn into the Hobgoblin just because it's now taking Harry's place, basically.
And I'm trying to remember, so, like, you know, they were having, like, you know, this little nice talk, and, you know, and also we got to introduce, like, Peter's crush in the movie, Liz Allen, I think that's her full name, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. And we kind of get to see, like, kind of Peter's, like, you know, kind of, I guess, daily routine in school. You know, he was, like, you know, joins up in decathlon, and Peter was pretty much impatient to be at school because, like, you know, he doesn't want to be there and wants to keep, you know, be Spider-Man most of the time.
Yeah, I would understand that because he, the way he is, he's an energetic kid. Like, he's, like, with him being, like, super smart and stuff, that's a plus. Like, a lot of times you see, I feel like his character of Peter has, like, a form of ADHD or something like that, maybe, because he has a lot of energy for a kid his age.
Yeah. And also I really like the mention, like, he was, like, in a, I forgot what class he was, like, pretty much he got, I think, geometry or something. Like, he pretty much got us to, like, the answer right, like, before Flash, like, you know, he got the answer wrong, and the teacher says, like, see, Flash, being the fastest, like, you know, it's, like, kind of like a Flash joke, you know? I forgot what it was. Yeah, pretty fun. And also, we even got to meet some of Peter's classmates, like, MJ, or Michelle Jones. Yeah.
That one felt weird too, just because of the fact that we always know MJ as Mary Jane, or redheaded chick. But I do love the way Zendaya played that character.
Yeah, but again, I found Michelle to be kind of a bit odd. You know, it just.
I love. Because... and when they were in the room, I don't know. I don't remember what line she said, but I remember that she said afterwards that it's not that I'm interested in him, it's just that I'm very observant.
Oh, yeah. Like, Peter also quick robotics lab, and everyone just stares, just like, I'm not obsessed with them, I'm just very observant. And also, in the cafeteria, she's like, too late. You guys are losers. Well, then why are you sitting with us? Because I don't have any friends. I got confused. I was like, huh?
Yeah, that is actually confusing too, obviously, because Mary Jane, this being, like, I guess an alternate version of Mary Jane where her name is different but the initials are still the same. Yeah. I guess that's how I would interpret it, is that she's like the same character just with a different name.
And also with a different personality as well.
Yeah, that too.
Different character traits, pretty much.
That's exactly why. The different personality has her as a less popular person, because obviously we know Mary Jane in high school was a very popular person. Everyone wanted to freaking date her.
And also, they even got the character Betty Brant into this, because, like, we remember Betty Brant as, like, kind of like a worker in the Daily Bugle, but and here she's pretty much like a teenager.
Oh, yeah, Betty. I remember Peter and her hooked up once.
They did?
Yeah, that's a very common thing, is that she was also one of the people that he slept with. I think that one was in the comics, though.
Ah, okay. And also, she really did almost look a lot like Gwen Stacy to me.
What the heck? That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, didn't you take a look at her? Like, she almost looked like Gwen Stacy.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, she was that one blonde chick.
Yeah.
She was also part of the team, wasn't she?
Yeah. Well, pretty much one of the people that she hangs out with mostly with Liz. So.
Mhm.
And.
Yeah, I don't feel like they would have had her as Gwen Stacy. Obviously, she's not. But the fact that you mentioned that she kind of looks like her, she doesn't really have the same feel as Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy isn't a follower; she's more of a leader.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, so I really like how we got to see like kind of like mostly like movie in general. We got to see kind of like, you know, the people's perspective of like in the MCU, because like we got to see how things are like, you know, with Iron Man and Thor and Captain America's life and the Guardians, and pretty much you got to see like the perspective of like just a normal teenager living in this like world full of Avengers and all that.
Yeah. And not even only that, but having to deal with superpowers that could potentially even get you to be an Avenger.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine what kind of like problems that could actually do to a person. Like, imagine this stuff was real. What kind of person would it actually be like? Obviously, we see how Peter's perspective is. He's a teenager who has these powers. He's an energetic person, almost happy-go-lucky kind of character, but he has to deal with so many dangerous situations that could potentially get him killed, and it really puts a lot of stress on him, having to, for one, deal with school life while also dealing with saving lives and helping people in New York. It's like that builds up a lot of stress. But he's like, obviously there are some times that we see like it does put a toll on him, but he takes it like a champ, and it's so hard to see him like that because he's putting himself through a lot of stress. And a lot of people that I know, when they have a lot of stress, it just really, really screws them. It really puts them in a bad place.
Yeah. And dude, it's like really crazy.
Yeah.
So pretty much after we got to see like, you know, Peter's school life, we, you know, after, you know, the bell rings, he finally, you know, decides to, you know, to go out to become Spider-Man. But before that, we also got to see like him going out to the deli, get some food. And it's, I really love this funny, you know, pretty much a lot of people.
Question: was that Tails Bodega?
Who?
Because it kind of reminded me of Tails Bodega from Miles Morales, because the cat was there too.
I'm not sure. Wait, hang on, let me check.
I don't think it was, but it just makes me think of that now that I've seen Tails Bodega in the Miles Morales game.
Hang on. Sure, hang on, I'm getting a bunch of locations. Okay. Oh no, wait, no, that's Delmar.
Okay.
God, I kind of forgot about that, but yeah, I got it. So
it really was similar though.
Yeah, but and
I
also
hope we do see that.
Yeah, but yeah, of course we kind of get like this funny scene, like, you know, pretty much he just says to Peter like, "Hey, how's your aunt?" "Yeah, she's doing fine." And then of course
Very sexy Italian woman.
And then of course Peter with the comment, "Cómo está tu hija, eh?" Just, oh man, Peter with a burn. Yeah. So pretty much after, you know, they got that whole thing. Yeah, we kind of get to see like, you know, Peter now. It's very funny him changing into his suit, because, you know, we usually kind of get to see Peter, you know, like the way transforming into suit like kind of cuts off and everything, but it's kind of funny seeing like changing into the suit, like in an alley.
Not gonna lie, that's a dangerous place to do it. I would have done it more on top of a building, less people would see.
Yeah. And
plus, it was kind of stupid that he webbed his backpack to a garbage can just because of the fact that those things get picked up and taken places.
yeah.
So I feel like that was on him for doing that. Oh man, my backpack's gone. Well, that doesn't sound responsible.
Okay, hold on. So someone commented, one thing I feel that they got wrong with Peter in the MCU is that he has it good because Peter Parker is supposed to be an everyday person who has trouble helping his aunt pay bills.
Yeah, that's actually true. I do feel like that was undermined.
Yeah. And also, I kind of feel like they kind of taken away some of the parts that makes Peter Parker interesting, you know, because he's also like, you know, a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And
what I find weird, obviously they skipped everything with Uncle Ben because we've seen it all already, like twice.
Yeah.
Maybe a bunch of other times, like we know Uncle Ben is dead, but the thing is, they don't talk about it enough.
yeah. Because, like, again, like, I mean, they did kind of, like, Peter did mention it, like, you know, to Ned, like, you know, like he said to, like, May cannot know, because after everything that's happened, I don't want this, like, you know, to make it worse, so. But, yeah, I kind of wish, like, they would have, like, maybe at least acknowledged it a little more, because, like,
Yeah,
again, like.
That's one of the things that makes Peter who he is Uncle Ben's death.
And also with the words, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that maybe because like it kind of makes sense because like you know, it like he kind of like forgot about it because like you know, him meeting Tony Stark, you know, he really wants to like actually you know, he pretty much lets being an Avenger get over his head and not realizing you know the responsibilities and all that.
Exactly. That's why I find it weird. Because here's another thing too. We don't think about how the MCU's Uncle Ben died. How did he die? And was it Peter's fault for not stopping someone from getting him killed? Because we have no knowledge of how the MCU's Uncle Ben really died.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I kind of wish, like, I don't know, if you wouldn't, like, at least, like, you know how they also had, like, kind of, like, these, like, you know, like, Marvel Studios comics, you know, they kind of, like, you know, talk a little bit about what's going on with the backstory and everything. Kind of wish they would, maybe at least would have done that to kind of help it better explain, you know?
Yeah.
And, so... Yeah, we kind of also so pretty much we cut to like you know Spider-Man's pretty much daily routine, you know, stopping a guy from stealing a bike, and helping an old lady across the street, and also got to see like you know he kind of mistakenly webs up a guy because like he thought he was stealing a car, but it was actually that guy's car. Yeah, and also we got to see Stan Lee cameo, you know. Really did
Best fries in town. Well, I'm saying that one because obviously I think if I remember correctly, Insomniac gave us hints that the MCU Spider-Man and PS4 Spider-Man is basically just the same Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That feels weird for me too, just because of the fact that MJ is a different character, is the same one that we already know and love.
Yeah. But I think maybe there could be an actual, like, you know, Mary Jane Watson and Harry Osborn just like out in the MCU, but we just couldn't get to meet them yet.
Probably.
So yeah.
Haven't we actually seen the Osborn Industries?
Oscorp? No, we haven't seen it.
I could have sworn we saw something with Oscorp.
No, but I mean there was the building, like the Avengers Tower, that was pretty much going to be replaced, but we don't know like if it's going to become like the Baxter Building or even Oscorp, but who knows.
I don't know. If anything, it might be because with everything going on lately, we've been seeing a lot of stuff from all the MCU stuff that's coming right now. We've seen a lot of stuff involving AIM. So if anything, it's probably going to involve them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I try to remember. All right. So then, of course, it comes to now Peter. Just kind of leaving a message to Happy about like kind of like a report like of what he has done and all that. And pretty much we get like Peter just like keeps saying like, I wish like I could do something more than just taking care of just petty crime and all that. And then now finally. He pretty much gets to see like robbers robbing like an ATM, and really it's kind of funny because like Spike just walks into to the village just like naturally just like, okay, just get in position here.
That was the fucking funniest shit, dude. Imagine you could do that in PS4 Spider-Man. Just fucking position yourself. Hey guys.
Yeah, that was just very funny. And also just where it looks like, since those robbers were wearing the Avengers masks.
Oh, you're the Avengers! Oh shoot! What's up, guys?
Oh, dude, I have seen a funny spoof video with those guys, but then, like, each of the wearing the mask, but it was actually the Avengers themselves. Just Peter's like, what the hell? And Tony's like, Parker, I thought I told you to stay home tonight. And then just later on, just Peter had the four of them arrested.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, and someone commented someone commented in the Avengers movie they wanted to include an Oscorp building, but Sony responded too late because they already had made a CGI render of New York City, Manhattan.
Oh,
and I think it was also, I guess, around the time with the Amazing Spider-Man movies that were coming,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, pretty much we got to see like those robbers using the Chitauri weapons, which kind of made Peter really where it's like, oh boy, like I got to yeah. And really just I hate that because like Peter tries to inform Happy like these guys were robbing, but then like Happy just dismisses and like it's just like, I don't care about.
Like, I don't have time for ATM robberies. Like, dude, that's a serious thing. Like, with tech like that, that's a serious thing.
Yeah. And he even tries to tell Happy like, can I at least contact Mr. Stark about it? He's just like, no, Tony doesn't have time for any of that. Like, God, man.
That just shows even more what I said earlier of how he gives no respect to Peter.
Yeah.
So obviously, again, I understand Peter's a kid, but he's also a growing hero. So anything that he's like getting himself involved in needs to be taken seriously.
Yeah. And so pretty much after the ATM fiasco, and also forgot like one of the robbers pretty much power charged one of the weapons that destroyed at like the ATM, and also a Delmar's place that it was also it was caught in the blast, and luckily Spidey came in there to save him and the Murphy the cat, I think it was called.
It surprises me that thing didn't hit any of the other buildings.
Yeah.
So but it just specifically hit that one.
Yeah, but I think maybe it has like a limitation, like capacity of how far you can shoot it at.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's another building right across the street from it.
Well, okay, I don't know about it honestly. So, yeah. So now we get cut to like Peter just going back, and also like again like you mentioned like him mubbing up his backpack in the dumpster, but unfortunately it was gone. Yeah. And he went back to to his apartment, like he got to his room, closed his door, thinking, oh, okay, finally he can relax. But when he turns around, he sees Ned with the Death Star, because like pretty much I guess he was like after like back before he was like pretty much staring at Liz, and he was not paying attention to Ned, like saying like, oh hey, is it cool if I could come over to your place and we can finish the Death Star? And he was like, yeah sure, whatever. And yeah. And then of course like Peter's like, dude, Ned, what are you doing in my room? But May let me in. You say we were gonna finish the Death Star. And of course like, and before that she's like, you're the Spider-Man from YouTube. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that shit ended up on YouTube. Like, fucking. Obviously, in the comics back then, YouTube wasn't a thing, so of course they didn't make jokes like that.
Yeah.
But
And of course,
having that in something that's now, that's fucking gold. Everything is on YouTube.
yeah.
I wonder if anyone actually tried to find the video on YouTube.
Yeah. And of course, we even also got to see May again in this. So pretty much, you know, she's saying like, pretty much she did, but she kind of found it a little bit weird. You know, Peter with like doesn't like wearing like any clothes, just his boxers.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like she thought that was a little sus with Ned in the room. It's like, what are you guys doing in here?
Good. But then,
Speaking of May, a lot of people find it weird that she's very young, but I don't think that's actually weird.
Yeah.
Because obviously an aunt is the sister of one of your parents, so it would make sense that she's younger.
Yeah.
That's what I find weird about the original Aunt May, is that she was really old, and that didn't make sense because that's one of Peter's parents' sister.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, like, you know, if Peter's like at least much more older, she'd be older too, but yeah, actually, I think we already discussed this thing in with Tony when we did Civil War.
Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did, because like we were talking about that, and I brought up the point like everyone like, you know, was saying like, you know, oh, May's like young enough, but you know, it makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah.
And pretty much after you know May closes the door, you know, Ned said like, wait, she doesn't know? No, nobody does. I mean, Mr. Stark knows because he made my suit, but that's it. What, Tony Stark made you that? Are you an Avenger? Yeah, basically, like, he just lies. And also he just tells, like, you know, Ned, like, to keep it a secret. And of course, you know, the thing I talked about with him, like,
fucking ask shit in class almost loud enough for everyone to hear.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb, but then again, like, I mean, you would kind of be like that if you found out your best friend is a superhero.
Yep. I mean, I would, but I wouldn't do stupid shit in public because I know that's stupid.
Yeah. And yeah, so trying to get through that like that, and yeah, so again, pretty much through the whole school, like, you know, again, Ned asking questions, and also the gym. It's funny, like, questions like Ned said, like, is Captain America cool, or is he like a mean little grandpa? And he also like enforced, like, you know, Peter, like, hey, can I be your guy in the chair? And also see again a funny video of how shit ended, like, you know, Ned said, hey, can I be your guy in the chair? And then Thanos just appears like, I'm the guy in the chair. There can only be one. It was funny. It's just like,
Not gonna lie though, that's basically just Miles and fucking
Genki.
You know, yeah. It's literally them, considering everything that happened in Miles Morales. He was literally the guy in the chair.
Yeah. And then of course, pretty much then of course Peter and Ned over here, you know, Liz and his friends talking about, you know, the superheroes, and then when she gets to the topic of like her being a crush on Spider-Man, Ned does pretty much it really stupid and just announces to the world like, Peter knows Spider-Man. And just, oh man, Ned.
I'm not gonna lie, the fact that any of those girls were like, ew, Spider-Man, you know, he could probably be like 30 or something. Like, I don't think a 30-year-old would be that thin and that noodly.
I mean, technically, Peter does have some abs, so.
I mean, yeah, but, I mean, his arms look like spaghetti.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, that just baffles me. Like, he, even with the suit on, he doesn't look like he'd be in his 30s.
Yeah. But yeah, again, it really stupid of Ned to just announce it, like, you know, to the world, to the whole school, and just pretty much Peter just say like, I did meet him, yes, but it's through the Stark internship, but I'm not supposed to talk about it. And then of course then Flash intervenes, just being Flash, and just like, hey, how about you bring your friend Spider-Man over to Liz's party? And just like really tempting Peter. It's just like, oh my god, I want to punch that guy in the face.
Dude, I fucking would've.
Yeah, dude, that's
me.
Like, imagine it just like if me and you were with Peter and then we saw Flash there, I would just like, boy, if you don't shut up right now, I'm gonna kick your ass right now, right here, right now. I don't care if I get suspended.
Boy, if you don't fuck out of here.
Man, but yeah, then of course Peter just says to them like, what are you doing? And Ned just explains like, Pete, you're an Avenger. If anyone has a chance with the senior girl, it's you. And yeah, then we cut to him and Ned arriving, pretty much May dropping them both off to the party, and yeah. And he was kind of a little bit hesitant at first, because but May saying like, oh, I know, like the struggles, your body's changing, all that. So like, oh boy.
No, not that.
And then that just like, I think maybe the best way to release stress is to go to a party. Which I don't think that's a good case, because I think it would kind of make things worse, don't you think?
I feel like Aunt May was a little lenient right there. Like, Jesus Christ, you're letting him go to a party? I understand he's young, but I feel like you should be the responsible parental figure.
Yeah, because like again, you never know if Peter might be offered alcohol or something.
I know, right? Like they could be doing drugs or anything like that. I guess May wasn't worried about that because she knows Peter isn't exactly into that stuff.
Yeah, because she knows he's been a good kid, so he would never do something like that.
Yeah, and he's a smart kid at that too.
Mm-hmm.
So that also brings it up. Like, obviously he's not going to do something stupid. He's a smart kid.
Yeah. So then of course, when Peter and Ned arrive at the party, MJ was also there too. It was like, I can't believe you guys are in this lame party, but you're here too.
You're here too.
Am I? Okay. Yeah, and also that little.
It's not like I knew you guys were coming here.
Yeah. And then of course we get to see this little funny talk with with Peter and Liz, because Peter was stuttering much. It's kind of just like me when I talk with girls. And then pretty much
continue. I'm gonna be right back. I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay, yeah. So then of course, wait till he comes back. Peter was a little bit hesitant at first. He doesn't want to become a part. He even said no, Spider-Man is not a part trick. I'm just gonna be myself. And of course then I said, dude, nobody wants that. And yeah, he was just gonna keep on going with that, but until then, of course, Flash comes in and just really is tempting him, and it almost worked because Peter was in his costume and everything, but then of course he sees an explosion out in the distance, like Isaac said, because one of the first shocker was testing out in the open, and pretty much somebody would pretty much catch on to that, and well, somebody did. And then of course there's of course this funny scene where Peter tries to shoot over the field, but of course there were no buildings, so he just had to run in it, and of course sprinklers were going off. He just says, this sucks. Then of course we got to see the two guys. I think one of them is Herman Schultz, and I think the first shocker could be named Montana. I'm not sure, but he was pretty much, they were discussing what kind of weapons they want to give to Aaron Davis, but of course he was Miles' uncle, but he was like, no, I want something low key, not too big or spectacular, And of course Peter just arrived in time and seeing what was going on, and he was thinking, oh, so this is where the ATM robbers must have gotten their stuff. And pretty much when the guy was announcing what kind of stuff he had, when he got to the anti-gravity climbers, then then Aaron was like, ooh, climbers? And unfortunately, Peter should have silence his phone because like his ringtone was going off because Dad was calling like no, because pretty much if you know he was supposed to go into the party, just saying like, oh hey guys, I'm Spider-Man and all that, but yeah, his ringtone was going off, and then those sellers were like, okay, what is that? And they were thinking like Davis must have set them up, but then of course Spider-Man just comes in like, hey, if you're gonna shoot at someone, shoot at me. Okay. And he did that, but then Spider-Man comes in dodging all that stuff, but one of the guys got his gauntlets and then BAM! Blast him through the pillars, and yeah. And then of course we got to see a chase scene going on, and then of course, the guy was saying, dude, we need to call him. No, we got this. Ugh, no, I'm calling him. And of course, Mason was like kind of like testing out like this new gadget where pretty much, I don't know what it's called, but pretty much you could just put them like in the wall, and then you could like put your hand through and grab anything from the other side. And of course then I think no wait, actually it was like after the whole chase thing, but yeah, pretty much he sees like Toombs' phone and like ringing, and then he just says Toombs' phone, and then of course it informs the Vulture about what's going on, and yeah. So, and of course we get to see this funny chase scene with Spider-Man going through each of the houses where he pretty much scares little girls there, like because of his eye twitching, and then throwing a ball with a dog. Oh, hey. So we're right now at the chase scene with Spider-Man and those two weapons dealers, the Shockers.
Oh. Mhm.
Yeah. And I was just getting the part where like he was swinging through the pole. There's like a movie playing. I forgot what it's called, but I think, I don't know, but yeah, as he was about to catch out onto the van, then Vulture just picks him up out of the air and just lifts him so far. And then luckily enough, like Peter like had a parachute installed. Well, Peter didn't know
it went sideways.
Yeah. And then he fell to the lake, almost drowning. But then this guy came in and saved Spider-Man.
What's up?
Yep. Although it was pretty much like the armor from Civil War, but it was like the bottom half was all silver. Jeez. Okay, gotta take careful with the flying. Let's not talk about it. So then of course Peter informs them about like the weapons and all that, and they tell him like, what were you thinking? Well, the guy was honestly the source of the weapons. I gotta take him down now, huh? Listen, Sadie Crockett, there are people who handle this sort of thing. The Avengers? No, this is way below their pay grade. And again, really don't like Tony's treatment to Peter, because
yeah. Because you have people, but that can take care of things, but can they handle a man with alien tech?
Yeah,
I wouldn't say they do, considering how easily those guys robbed some of their freaking trucks.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, pretty much just like, Tony just said, like, telling to Peter to just stay close to the ground and let's, someone else handle it. But Peter's like saying, look, but I'm ready for more than that now. No, you're not. That is not what you thought when I took on Captain America. Trust me, a Cap would have,
Trust me, if Cap wanted to lay you out, he would have.
And yeah. And so pretty much then, of course, after that, Peter was just walking back, like, stay close to the ground. What does that even mean? And then pretty much on his way walking, he kind of spots one of the Chitauri weapons that the ATM the dealers dropped, which is like a bomb, but they didn't know that yet.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. And then now we cut to like, before that, like, Mason was testing out like a new invention where like you could pretty much like put out these devices and go through like grab stuff from the other side, which would be beneficial to the other part. But then the Toombs came in and dude, he was like really like angry, about Yeah. And and of course, you know, then the Phoenix just was like, hey, your wife like texts you about something, but it's like, what have I told you about going through my phone? I'm sorry, you left it out in the open, and you know I'm a curious person by nature.
Shame. Fucking shame.
And also he was like,
anytime my parents do something, I'm like, what are you doing?
And then of course, you know, Mason also keeps bringing up the point about the high altitude seal. I said we're gonna go to the big one, but then like before that, Tim was like, no, we're not gonna do that. And then of course those guys came in. It's like how many times have I tell you not to fire them out in the open? But you said northern merchandise under the radar. Like you're. And of course, pretty much, you know, was mocking, and like the guy was like, "You going out there? If you bring one of those guys, bring out the feds or the Avengers down here, we're through." And you keep calling yourself the Shocker. I shock people. And then of course, like, you know, then like that guy was just pretty much just like mocking. He's like, yeah, and he pretty much had enough. It's like, you know what? I can't afford any more of your bullshit. Get out of here. And then pretty much that guy made a fatal mistake when he like mentioned to his wife and like how she would like to know what he's been doing. And if she just yeah,
that was a big mistake, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's like, what if his wife did find out what he's doing? I don't think she'd be very happy with that.
Yeah. And then of course, like, you know, he kind of before that, like, he informs like Mason, like, hey, is that thing working? I don't know. And then just pretty much he then grabs it and then shoots the guy, and pretty much that guy turned into like dust, like very brutally. But he's just like, I thought this was the anti-gravity gun. What? No, it's that one right there. Then of course he grabs the gauntlet and then just gives it to the other guy, which I think it was Herman Schultz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here, now you're the Shocker. Go find the weapon he lost. And of course, then we cut to Peter and Ned, and I kind of forgot what class, but they were like taking a look at the energy core, and they were kind of like discussing like what they were doing, and they're like combining alien tech with their own, and it's just Ned going out just like saying like, that is the coolest thing anyone has ever said in a sentence, and I want to thank you for letting me be part of this journey. And also pretty much the teachers in the school really don't give a crap about anything happening.
More like they don't pay attention to anything happening.
Yeah, because like when like Peter struck like the core with the hammer, like that guy was just like, keep your fingers off the saws or off the blades. Like he was just reading a magazine. Oh man. And then of course,
Mark 47 armor in Homecoming was a repaint of the Mark 46 from Civil War, based on the design of the Ultimate Comics Iron Man armor, which makes him look like kind of like a turtle.
I was read it was pretty much a repaint of that.
That's funny.
And then yeah, Peter also like while Peter and Ned were going across the hall, they pretty much spotted the goons there. They were actually trying to find the weapon, and luckily enough, when Peter goes after them, puts in like a little spider tracker to figure out where they'd be going, and kind of goes to like Peter and Ned like are like, you know, in Peter's room, just like seeing it, checking out a map and seeing like, you know, where could it be going, and then they go like, I think they stopped at New Jersey, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then Peter pretty much gets an idea how like, you know, to get there, and that's of course coming back to the academic decathlon, and it's pretty funny because like, then of course, you know, Flash comes in like, you know, saying, nah, you can't just come back and say like, and be expected to be welcomed back by everyone, and then Mr. Harrington was like,
welcome back, Peter.
It was very funny, and then, you know, Flash just got humiliated at the point. Then yeah, pretty much we got to see everyone just like, you know, getting prepared, you know, on the bus ride, and then of course Peter gets a call from Happy and just like, hey, I got a blip on my screen. You left New York? And then yeah, and also it's really also kind of stupid because does that mean also
like, oh, if I was Peter, I would have been like, oh, now you give a shit.
Yeah, but also like does that mean also now Peter has to like give permission of like whether if he has to go somewhere or not? Because like I again find it kind of really stupid.
Yeah.
And also just really funny. It's just like happy. Finding out where I am, it feels like it's like an invasion of privacy. And Ned just pointed to the map, just like, that's different. What's different? Nothing. It's just the academic decathlon. It's nothing. Not a big deal. Hey, I will know if it's not a big deal. But remember, I'm watching you. And there's of course also like a deleted scene, like of when they arrived in Washington. There's like remember in Winter Soldier of the base where like it was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much it's like, MJ just informs to Peter and that like damage control is still cleaning up the mess that Captain America made. Yeah, and yeah, pretty much the decathlon team arrived, and then of course we kind of cut to like to Peter and Ned try to figure out the specs of the suit, and of course we of course then the training wheels protocol were disabled. And it's really funny because like just like Peter just says like, come on, I'm sick of Mr. Stark treating me like a kid all the time. But you are a kid. Yeah, he is whining like a kid too.
Yeah, he's literally whining like a little baby.
And yeah,
I find it weird. Like, obviously Ned's a smart guy, but we've never really seen how smart he is, other than just that time where he hacked the suit. Like, we didn't even know that he was a smart character. I'm pretty sure everyone just figured he was like a dumb character that you could just play off.
But I mean, to think about it, I mean, pretty much the school they go to, it's like for geniuses,
Yeah, true.
And plus, we got to see more of his stuff, like as the guy in the chair,
Actually, never mind. I was gonna say I don't know about that because Flash, but then I just remembered Rich Boy.
Yeah. Oh man.
I mean, we haven't really seen a lot of Michelle's smarts.
But yes, but pretty much you gotta get to see she really was not much at like open, Yeah. Of course, like we cut to like as Peter was about to leave, he pretty much bumps into Liz, and of course the other decathlon members are like sneaking off and going into the pool, and it's really also
I was doing the same thing.
Yeah. And it's also kind of sad, like Peter like looking out because like he really would like to be like a teenager, but he has to, but of course he is fine. Yeah. And yeah, pretty much like as he was like put on the suit, we got introduced to like to his own AI, which pretty much he named her Karen later. And I really do love the interactions between him and Karen. It's really sweet.
I've seen a couple of things involving Karen and him.
Oh God. Okay. Oh, hang on. I'm getting myself.
Got some pretty good AI booty there.
Hang on, I got myself, hang on, what I missed? Yeah, I'm checking your chair right now.
Oh, what the heck? I have it set to top for some reason.
Oh boy. Okay, I gotta check that out later. Okay. Okay, so where do we? Okay, so they were about to now. Peter now has like now entered to this upcoming heist, right? Yeah. And also really funny how like we got to like Peter was like really unaware of the new like accommodations added to his suit, and pretty much he just said like, "Oh, Mr. Stark has overdid it."
Instant kill,
Yeah.
activate instant kill.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't get to see that until like Endgame.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the fact that he accidentally activated it, he's like, activated instant kill. It's like, wait, what? No, I don't want to kill people.
Yeah, it's funny.
That was weird for Tony to add. Like, wait a minute, I know he was put on training wheels, but why is that a feature for a teenager?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm not gonna lie though, a couple of those new additions to his webs do remind me a lot of the gadgets you get in the actual games.
Yeah. Although I think they were like, I think in this one they were like a lot more than the ones in the Spider-Man PS4, because like I think he has like only just a little bit.
Mhm.
And yeah, well, in this one he's like, I think 100 or 500 of those things. Like, sheesh. Okay, and so pretty much now, I really love how, like, you know, Peter was kind of struggling because, like, you know, with the different, like, he was having trouble with the weapons, like, saying, like, what was that?
Meanwhile, whenever I play, I get it right off the fucking bat.
Yeah. But yeah, but I guess it makes sense because, like, it's kind of like for him skipping the tutorial.
Yeah. I mean, I never even really need the tutorials. I just know what I have to do.
Yeah. So then of course, you know, Peter was able to, you know, to catch up with the Vulture because he was at least about to steal something, but unfortunately, you know, he got into inside the truck with the device that, you know, the Tinker was making, you know, that you could again like go through. Mm-hmm. Apparently, one of the like just got disabled, and as he was about to, you know, go off, it closed like just at least like a second before, and then hit his head and knocked him out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then of course he woke up and he was like in the damage control facility, and like pretty much like during around that time he was first trying to like to figure out how to get out, but then like, you know, he decided to wait a little bit, and of course in the meantime while he had to wait, he had like time, you know, to at least to review like what kind of weapons and gadgets he had, so that way at least he could be better prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, really love to talk with him and Karen about, like, you know, if he should, like, you know, to reveal his identity to Liz, because again, he's kind of weird. Like, what if, like, again, what if she suspects someone like, you know, else like Tony Stark, and what would she react to if she saw me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, Karen said, you know, if I were Liz, I wouldn't be disappointed at all. And then of course, very funny is like, you know, Peter said, "Hey, how long have we been here anyway?" 37 minutes.
I'm pretty sure that's what led to the Rule 34 of Karen.
Oh, for the love of God. Or, well, actually, hang on. I think a proper reaction to that would be... Where is it again? Meme. 20 seconds, everybody. Can we speak to Taco Bell? That's good. That's pretty good. Okay. Alright, so to continue on, we go through now Peter trying to hack, and after so long he was able to now to get out. Well, actually before that, before like that, he pretty much was looking through the stuff. Like there was like an extra Ultron head, which was pretty interesting. And then of course now he discovered the glowy thing was actually a bomb, since carrying it for him. Then he was like, whoa, we been carrying around a bomb? So yeah, he was like, after he got out, you know, he was going back his way to Washington to try to get to Ned about what was happening. And then of course him and the decathlon team were like, you know, doing the competition, but they were lucky enough to win. And then they go through the Washington Monument, which unfortunately the Chitauri core was exposed to the X-ray, was giving out like radiation to kind of like at least, you know, make a, you know, explosion and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, but luckily, Spidey makes it around the time and goes to the Washington Monument to try to save, and while the others were trying to get out.
Of course, he's afraid of heights.
I mean, I would be too if I go get up that high.
Me, I love heights. Fucking heights are the best thing for me, just because I love the scenic views that you get from that shit.
I'd vomit, honestly, just being up that high.
Obviously, you'll get lightheaded just because of that freaking atmosphere being the way it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, yeah. We kind of got pretty much got to see as the elevator was about to as he was getting up, it was really funny. You got to see kind of a back-to-back saying the guard there that was saying okay, don't worry, we got extra precaution, everything will be fine. But then Cascare everything is not fine. They're about to die.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That just made me think of fucking Ned again. She's like, we're all gonna die.
Man, I love Ned and I love Karen. Well, this Karen, not the Karens.
Yeah, Karens are bitches.
Yep. Oh, dude, I even seen that funny video with Mando. He was giving a food order to a Karen, and dude, she was like, ugh, and she even took a tip from a jar, and the man was like, oh, screw it, Tim, I'm going on break. Be back in 10, Mando. And he just picks up he picks up the blaster.
I've seen that video.
Yeah, and he picks up the blaster. I only need 5. I was like, we need Mando.
Yep, we need Mando here.
Yeah. And also there's this Lego stop motion where this camera was going off and then Deadpool just comes in and just shoots her in the head. It's yeah, you're welcome. Man. We need Mando and Deadpool.
I need to watch this. I just took off one of my bracelets for the first time in so long, and Jesus Christ, this thing is so disgusting. I need to wash it.
Yeesh. Oh, and someone commented that Ultron head was still lit up, meaning Ultron is still alive and on the loose.
Oh, God.
Oh, could be a possibility.
Maybe.
And then, so yeah. Then Spider-Man comes in to save the day and save everyone from the elevator, and of course after he saves everyone, he gets out Liz, and then Kara just whispers, "Now this is your chance, Peter. Kiss her." But then
I'm a little surprised nobody could hear that.
Yeah, but I guess it's just.
I mean, I get it's in his mask, but that's also because they would be talking on a phone. You could kind of hear it.
Yeah. I guess it's Tony Stark. He must have built something so no one could be able to hear it.
Inside sound protection.
Yeah. And then of course now we cut back to back. Well, everyone was coming back to Midtown. All the parents. They're hugging their kids, and also really funny on the TV because they were interviewing the kids, and there's this one kid cursing. It was pretty funny.
Actually, you know what I find weird about Karen?
What?
Is the fact that she's only given to Peter after he would have completed the training wheels protocol.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that is kind of dumb because for currency because she could pretty much if it's the ATM room where she would at least find a way to contact Tony Stark,
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I guess it would have ruined baby monitor protocol joke.
That's the or the training wheels protocol it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
no,
yeah,
it was the baby monitor protocol for recording everything that happens while he's in the suit.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And then of course now we cuts
That's
back.
What it was called. She was it's called a baby monitor protocol.
Yeah. And then of course we cut back to this floor where like uh, Peter and like Ned were discussing like are you sure we shouldn't tell everyone who you are? But then no. And also it's kind of then of course we like Peter informs like like hey, I can't go to class. I had to go take it on the guy. What? Why? We have a Spanish quiz. Like, cause like he again, it's Peter is pretty much letting being an Avenger go over his head and not really like think about his other stuff as a kid.
I mean, he still does. He just takes the superheroing as a bigger priority.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of a bigger priority. Saving lives is more important than getting Spanish homework done.
Yeah. But then again, that like you would also like it could at least like help you out. Like if you weren't gonna like at least if you're gonna think about going like retiring as Spider-Man, like at least you would have like something you would want to do,
Yeah, because being Spider-Man doesn't exactly make you money.
Yeah. So then of course like like Peter's saying like I'm so over school, and then he turned around, the principal was just right there like Parker, my office. And also interesting enough, the principal was actually like the grandson of like one of the Howling Commandos that were with Captain America back around World War II. So yeah. And speaking of Captain America, I even forgot to mention that of course like the video recording, like the PSA is that like in the gym, like Ned was like, you two know each other? Yeah, we met. I stole a shield. And of course, they even cut the part where, like, after Peter said that, he said, and then he beat me up. Then, yeah, Peter must get, like...
I wouldn't say that he did, though. If I remember, they started to fight, but then when they had to talk about what side of New York they were from, they stopped.
Yeah.
And they went on to fight other people.
And, yeah, but... It's kind of, I guess, like just a way of like Peter teenager stuff,
Yeah.
And of course, like Peter was in detention, but he just like walks out, and the teachers is like deny him about it. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Get back here!"
Get back here! Doesn't even get up. So nonchalant. Just get back here.
Like wow. So anyone could just walk out of there anytime. And of course, MJ was also.
Michelle just went there to go there. So why are you here?
Oh, I just like to sketch people in crisis. This is you. Very funny.
No, totally wasn't just to be near Peter.
Yeah. Then of course, then we cut to like with Peter and Karen talking with each other about discussing of course the baby monitor protocol and all that, and. If we get to see some funny like stuff with what Peter does talk in the mirror, even imitates
the fucking memes of that shit.
What kind of memes?
Just one where he's about to start touching himself to some lolly hentai.
No, for the love of God.
He's like, no, this is just me messing around. Just go into later in the day.
Oh, Parker.
Hold on, I'm actually gonna look up one of the videos and send it to you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, but anyway, yeah. After the little announcement with with Spider-Man imitating Thor, "It is I, Thor, son of Odin." And of course, Karen just saying, "By the way, your impressions are pretty funny." And then of course we even got to see like the footage being played with the two shockers, Herman, and I think the other guy might have been Montana, I'm not sure, but they of course they have the recording of that, and of course Karen informs him of Aaron Davis, and yeah, pretty much. And also like before he was about to head off, she was like, "Would you like me to initiate enhanced interrogation protocol or something like that?" Where pretty much it gives Peter like a very deep voice. Yeah. So, and of course, hello everyone, welcome. So pretty much we're just right now discussing like each of the MCU movies and pretty much talking about what our thoughts and experiences were like, and yeah. So right now we're pretty much in the beginning of this, and we're just talking about Spider-Man Homecoming. So I think we might get through this and then through Thor Ragnarok. if we got time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, so pretty much we just got with Peter, you know, trying to interrogate Aaron Davis, but he just fails so miserably with the funny voice, and just then he pretty much Davis was just catching on and said, "You never done this before, have you?" And yeah. But luckily enough, you know, Aaron Davis decides to tell him because, like, you know, after what happened with the bridge, and he was like, you know, I didn't want to have any of those weapons. I got a nephew who lives here, which, of course, reference to Miles Morales. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he pretty much tells Peter, like, you know, where his, you know, where their buyers are going to be at. And of course, like, before that, also, like, Peter kind of webs, you know, his hand up to a trunk, and it's just like saying, well, hey, that thing is going to dissolve in 2 hours, so, what? No, come fix this. It's like, no, you deserve that. Bye, Mr. Criminal.
That was funny.
Yeah. Then, of course, now we cut to where Peter arrives at the ferry where he gets to see where the dealing going on, but then, of course, it gets interrupted when Tony Stark makes a call where he's like, you know, Mr. Parker, you got a sec? And then he was just trying to make up like an excuse, like, Mr. Stark, I don't think this is a good time right now. He's like, no, kid, don't cut me off when they're trying to compliment you, okay? And then, of course, where the Falcon was like, wait, what was that? I'm in band? That's odd. Happy told me you quit band earlier. What's going on? Gotta go and call. And it just. And I'm betting, like, for fact, like, Tony was like, he hung up on me. On me. I can imagine that. Who would hang up on Tony Stark? And then, yeah, pretty much, Peter was now trying to stop, like, with the whole dealing going off. And also we get the introduction of Mac Gargan, who will pretty much, I think, who will be later become Scorpion. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you know, after Toombs now discovers, like, oh crap, here he is again. And then he puts on his suit and tries to, like, to stop Spider-Man. Until then, the ferry splits up because, again, like, and then, of course, the FBI were there, and Peter was luckily enough to try to hold it, but he tries to web it up and everything, but he was like, Karen said, like, he was like 98% successful, and he should have webbed up the last thing, you know, to help at least be 100% successful, you know? Mm-hmm. Because even with the smallest percentage, it would go wrong. Things would go wrong. And then it went wrong, and Peter tries his best to try to hold the thing together until then something was coming back together. Then Peter was looked out, and he just sees this Iron Man there. He's just like, hey, Spider-Man, bad practice, was it? Yeah, you just felt like Tony was just pissed there.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we cut with, you know, back with the Toombs and his gang. He was like, you know, Toombs was just saying, like, 8 years, not a word from the heads, not even those clans up in the Avengers Tower. Then this kid in red tights comes in and tries to take down everything I built. And then I think it was about that time where, like, you know, Toombs decides, like, you know what? We'll go with the altitude seal thing. Can you get it to work? And it's just like the Tinker was like, yeah, I could get it working. And then now we cut off to with, you know, like, this huge argument with Tony and Peter, because, like, you know, saying, like, you know, none of this would have happened if you would just listen to me. If you would care, you would actually be here. Can you do the transformation thing?
No. Whoops. Wrong
one. Yep.
Wah, wah, wah.
And of course, you know, just, yeah, really love the music.
Indeed.
Yeah. Pretty much just like any kinds of music would be added into this. Wait, hang on. Actually, since I'll kind of be a bit thirsty. I'll shut up.
Oh no.
I'll shut up. Don't worry. Okay. Where is it at? No.
Still trying to find the one I wanted.
I'm trying to find. Oh, here it is. There we go.
I wish I had that one.
Okay.
Oh god, no! Don't tell me this is another PogChamp one.
A what?
Hold on.
Okay. So then, of course, after the huge argument, like Tony decides to take Peter's suit away, and then, of course, you know, like Peter saying, "I'm nothing without the suit. If you're nothing without that suit, then you shouldn't have it." Honestly, it's kind of a little bit hypocritical, because, like, you know, I mean, Tony, what are you without your suit? You know?
Yeah, yep. You're dead without your suit.
Yeah, okay. Then now we cut to with Peter, you know.
I mean, I guess in a sense he's like saying, "What? Who are you to the world without that suit?"
Yeah. And then of course now we cut with Peter, you know, going back with his anime, and pretty much he kind of like anime just sound like, what's really going on? Can you tell me? I think something's bugging you. And he pretty much just like, it's a way of saying like, you know, he lost the Stark internship. Like he feels like he could do more, but he screwed up. And then I really like how now following up to the next scene where like he's now going back to school, like now, like, you know, now he can just pretty much be just a normal kid again, you know. He's pretty much going back, you know, attending with his clubs, you know, doing well with schoolwork, you know, helping them now finally finishing the Death Star, which I'm surprised they even let them bring Legos in the high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course then pretty much Peter asks Liz out to Homecoming, which of course we now get to see, like, you know, with May helping him out, try to be ready for the Homecoming. And then as Peter now finally arrives to Liz's house, you know, getting prepared, then who opens the door was none other than Liz's dad, which pretty much was a big surprise. It was a big surprise, because, like, it was pretty much Adrian Toombs, like, I was like, oh man, that thing's got worse, because not only was that Liz's father, but he's also a supervillain as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine how that would be like in that situation. Like, dude, that was like, it was so tense. Like, Peter was just keep staring at Toombs, because like knowing he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And even more tense when they finally, you know, when Toombs was like driving Liz and Peter to Homecoming, and then like as they were kind of talking about things, like before that, like Toombs was like,
not gonna
hey,
lie, Peter kind of outed himself in that, like, kind of obvious nervousness.
Yeah. Also, Liz also kind of outed him out too, because like she did say like Peter also works for, you know, has the Stark internship thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So then finally, you know, Toombs was able to piece that thing together, and then of course when Toombs told like Liz, like, you know, I'm gonna give Peter the dad talk, and then just he pulls out a gun and just turns to Peter like, does she know?
Dad talk. You hurt my daughter, this bullet's going in your head. Dad talk.
Yeah, but then pretty much he just like kind of like enforced Peter like if you interfere with my business again, I'll kill you and everybody you love. And that's, but then like also funny too, because like I saw like this how it should have ended the video, because like he just say that, and then Peter's like, I love Liz. Does that mean you're gonna kill your own daughter? And it's just realized he's just like, you win this round, Spider-Man. That was really funny. But yeah, then Peter gets into like, you know, to Homecoming, and, you know, confronts Liz, but she's like saying, I'm sorry, you shouldn't deserve this. And that he just runs and goes after Toombs, and pretty much, and also really interesting how no one even notices the lockers, like as he lifts it up and he gets his, like, you know, his old suit there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised nobody like even noticed anything.
I'm surprised nobody notices the scratch marks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as you know, Peter tries to go off to get Tooms, then the Shocker was there. So pretty much he had this little, I guess, I don't know, a fight with Shocker, or actually just pretty much Shocker just beating him up many times and throwing him in buses and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily enough, Ned was able to come in to save the day and just shoots a web at you know, Shocker's gauntlet, and then Peter got back the web and blows him up, and now pretty much he informs Ned about the situation and all that, and now he's becoming the guy in the chair. And also,
this is a funny one. I just found a video titled "Spider-Man versus One Punch Man in Real Life."
oh man,
oh, poor Spider-Man.
Even I know. Rest in peace to Spidey. Yeah. Then of course we kind of cut with Spidey now. Flash was coming in with his car, and then Peter just jumps on top of it, and he's like, "Flash, I need your car and your phone." And it's just like, and very funny too, because like he pretty much just crashes Flash's car like to the street, and Flash was just like, "Ah!"
Not even my car, it's my dad's car.
He kind of get what he deserved, honestly.
Yep.
And even Ned like says like, "You stole Flash's car, awesome." Yeah. So pretty much Ned was like able to track Peter's phone, because like he did leave his phone into Tooms' car so that Ned was able to track it, and he's also trying to contact Happy too, but like as Ned was online, Ned was trying to say like, "I'm an associate of Peter Parker, has something important to tell you," and just Ned was like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me," and turns off the phone. And it was like, damn. For a guy named Happy, he's really grumpy all the time. Might as well be called Grumpy.
Literally.
Yeah. And then, pretty much, Peter arrived to his destination, and then, of course, Ned, the teacher arrived, and he was like, "Well, I'm looking at porn." That's even worse.
Yep.
Yeah. So then
the school computers?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wish we would have come up with a better excuse. So I was like, I was just playing video games? But yeah, then we cut with now Peter confronting with Tooms, and pretty much he explains to Peter, like, how do you think, your buddy Stark got to that fancy tech? Rich people like him, they don't care about us. And, how's that talk, how, the rich guys, kind of gets their way, and while, the lower people...
I would have been like, if he didn't give a shit, he wouldn't have helped New York when everything was getting attacked.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. But I mean,
I swear it better be in here.
But I mean, he was pissed at Stark because Stark was the one who enlisted damage control, and he did pretty much lose his job and wasn't going to get enough money for that,
Mm-hmm. I feel like it doesn't make sense that he even lost his job. There's other places that they can do it. They shouldn't just get immediately fired for not getting one of their jobs done because the government decided to come in and fucking do their job.
And honestly, they should have maybe done a partnership. If damage control would come in and say hey, do you mind guys if you instead of taking where you guys would go, can you take them to give them to us, and we'll make sure we'll pay you as well, so there wouldn't be a problem.
I know. I don't understand why damage control did such a stupid thing by fucking just taking their job and not giving them any type of compensation for it.
Yeah, or at least again collaborating. Hey, is it cool if we can actually hire you guys to do our work for us? So that way, and we'll make sure we give you guys better pay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then
this whole situation would have been avoided. I was and Tooms oh well, thank you, sir, for giving me a better job opportunity. I won't have to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, of course, Tooms would keep making sure Peter was distracted, and then drop a whole building on him. Which, Jesus.
I'm still trying to fucking find this.
Yeah. And someone commented, when Peter's voice is sounds deep in the Stark tech suit, that's a feature carried over from the Iron Man suit called a voice modulator. It was used in the show Iron Man Armored Adventures from Nicktoons. Oh yeah, I know that cartoon.
Wait, what cartoon?
Iron Man Armored Adventures.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It's pretty much when Tony is a teenager, and he's pretty much Iron Man at that point.
What the fuck? That doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. I heard the show was good.
Well, yeah, it could be good, but it just doesn't make sense canonically.
But yeah, and then of course, pretty much we got to see like Peter really collapsed in the building, really helpless, and pretty much it was really sad too because like he was also begging for help and all that. Because like again, like he's a teenager and he's pretty much experiencing like what other heroes like Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, and the rest of the Avengers might have dealt with,
Yeah.
And yeah, and pretty much also he looks down and also sees like the mask and pretty much remembers the words that Tony said, like if you're nothing without that suit, then you shouldn't have it. And pretty much that comes games with like a confidence boost, like to actually being able to lift a very a very collapsed building, which dang, and it's also like in the comics,
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really powerful moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, the more that I think about it for this MCU's, like, Peter, I feel like he's, like, a perfect blend of all the Avengers because, like, he pretty much has, like, the intelligence, like, on par, if not greater, of Starks, but he also has, like, the good heart of Steve Rogers, the determination of Natasha Romanoff, the strength of the Hulk, the fun-loving nature of Thor, the strong family bonds of Clint Barton, and Wanda's desires to do what's right.
Yeah.
Pretty much I see that.
I do too.
Yeah. And so, yeah, pretty much after when Peter got out of the building, it was time for the final battle where he goes to where also Happy was pretty much was dealing with moving day, pretty much moving all the stuff to the Avengers compound. And pretty much Tooms goes into
the Avengers compound the place they were getting ready for the Endgame stuff.
Huh?
The Avengers compound, that was the place that they were getting ready for the Endgame stuff, huh?
The time heist? Yeah. Pretty much it was in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, pretty much Tooms tries to go seal this up, but luckily enough, Spider-Man comes in to try to stop Tooms, and they almost pretty much crashed the plane. I think.
You think so?
Yeah. I want to try to get through this quickly. Pretty much, he goes in to stop Tooms, and Tooms was his wings were damaged to try to steal this stuff, but Peter tries to stop him, hey, no, your wings are malfunctioning. And then it did, and luckily enough, Peter goes into and actually saves him. So pretty much Tooms just looks over, so he actually kind of gives some respect.
Yeah.
To Peter.
Because even though he's his enemy, he doesn't want to see him die.
Yeah. So pretty much as kind of like a thank you, he promised to make sure to keep his identity a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then of course Happy comes in and sees yeah, it sees all the supplies for the Avengers are safe, and Vulture being caught. He realizes oh man, he did it. And then now we cut to the end. Peter now finally coming back, and then of course Liz and her mother are moving because after what happened.
Yeah, that was sucked for him.
Yeah. And then
Dude,
of course
I'm still trying to fucking find it. I can't fucking find it. It doesn't have its own fucking thing for some reason.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find it through the source that I know it from, but it's in a compilation of videos.
Jeez.
So I don't know where in any of the compilations it is.
And now to keep it forward, we're pretty much like now MJ. Well, Michelle Jones pretty much now reveals herself like it now become like kind of like the new leader of the Cathball team, and pretty much she just informs everyone like, my friends call me MJ, and I was like, I thought you didn't have any friends. Yeah, and then of course Peter actually gets a taxi, to come meet me in the bathroom, and
oh God.
Yeah, it kind of been weird, but yeah, pretty much he goes there and then meets up with Happy, and then it's pretty much Happy just saying like apologizing for not like really much listening to Peter. Yeah, and then, of course it's also really funny when someone interrupted flushing the toilet, and it was just pretty awkward. He just like he comes out washing his hands, just stares at Peter, and Happy she's like, what are those two doing? Of course, Happy informs them like, boss wants to see you, and Peter just says, is he here too? In the toilet? No, he's in upstate. And yeah, and of course, Tony comes in, just saying like, I'm really sorry that I took your suit. You had it coming, but actually, turns out it was the tough love moment that you needed. I was just like, really?
I mean, it's kind of true.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, pretty much Tony offers him like like a spot on the Avengers. He even gives him like the Iron Suit, which we won't see until Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much Peter was like, decided like he's finally got his chance, but then he decides to do the more mature thing and says like, thank you, but I'm good. Someone has to look after the little guy. And pretty much Tony was surprised. Was like, okay, yeah, all right.
Wait a minute. What? I don't know if this title is official.
What title?
For the Spider-Man 3.
What's it called?
It's like, I don't know if it's official, but it would actually be pretty good. Spider-Man Homesick.
Oh, that's I don't like that title, honestly.
I kind of think it's good.
And I kind of like, like it for it to be called like Home Worlds,
Nah, because if he's away from his place, his home, he's homesick.
I guess it makes sense, but for me, I don't know. I don't like that title.
I cannot find this fucking video for the life of me. And I need to go to the bathroom again.
Okay. Alright, so to pretty much, so Tony pretty much just informs, Peter, like, okay, Happy will take you home. And the really funny thing is, what the heck is with that sound? What in the world? Is that a bee? That's a bee! Wait a minute. Hang on. Is there... Do I even have it right here? Yeah. Oh, here it is. When my Isaac is back, I'll explain what the heck was that. What is with this? Hey, he put up the Wolverine claw. Is that supposed to be like a reflection? Okay, whatever. Okay, so pretty much now to end it off, we're happy, to unfortunately, he could wait in the car, and just to, like, now Happy has has respect with Peter. And also very funny that before that, Peter said, that was a test, right? Yes, you passed. But actually it turns out, when he said like there were reporters, there were actual reporters there. And also we got the return of Pepper Potts there as well, which was really surprising. And Tony pretty much informs him, like, he actually really made a mature choice. Just surprised the heck out of us. So they pretty much had to improvise what they were going to say to the reporters. And well, then pretty much Tony had the idea, like, if Hap had the ring. And pretty odd too, because like Hap said that he had the ring since 2008, so he was aware that Tony and Pepper would get married someday, which That's kind of a bit weird. But yeah, it was also pretty funny too. So yeah, pretty much they would go with the marriage thing going on, and yeah. Then of course now cuts with Peter going back now to his house, and of course seeing of course a bag saying, you know, I think this belongs to you, from Tony Stark. And of course he got back his suit, and now he was having his little hero moments. May was just standing right behind him and just says, "What the?" and cuts to the credits. Then of course we get a post-credit scene with Agent Toombs now in prison, and of course he meets up with Matt Gargan, which, you know, he's just saying like, you know, "Hey, don't worry, this thing is not on you, it's on our little spider friend." And pretty much is like saying like, you know, he's got some guys on the outside being able to, you know, take him down. And of course he heard a rumor that he knows who he is. And pretty much Toombs just says, "If I knew who he was, he would already be dead." So yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. And of course I know for a fact we will see Toombs again in Morbius, because in the trailer for Morbius we got to see Agent Toombs escape somehow. So yeah, pretty much we got to see that. And the other post-credit scene was with another Captain America PSA, which pretty much this forum was like to everyone, and you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing, which very funny because he talks about patience, which pretty much it would make sense because you know, because with the context with Peter, you know, turning down the offer of joining the Avengers, because he knows he would have to wait until he knows he's actually ready to become an Avenger. And of course with patience, and of course another thing of course waiting for something you really would be disappointed for, which was really funny. So yeah, that was pretty much it for Spider-Man Homecoming. So overall for me, I really did enjoy this movie, and it was really cool for me to see Spider-Man being able to join the MCU. It was really... Fun fact, Gwyneth Paltrow didn't know she was in a Spider-Man movie. I know. It was really just funny. But yeah, I feel like, of course, this was a good way to introduce this version of Spider-Man in the MCU, and I really did enjoy it. And yeah, it was just, again, really crazy to see, oh my god, Spider-Man is now part with the event, now interacting with Tony Stark and the rest of the Avengers. So pretty much didn't mention that. So yeah, that was it. So I'm waiting for Isaac to come back, so to see what his thoughts were on Homecoming. And I think I might have to stop here, because right now my voice is really getting tired, and I wanted to do Thor Ragnarok next, but yeah, I think all of us were we're getting tired now. So yeah, but we'll see. So this side was Thor. Oop. And here is... where is it? No, wait. I think I might have passed it. Where is the heck is it? No, wait. There we go. Oh, what the? Oh man, they got rid of my Avengers logo. Crap. Okay, well, at least let me fix that then. No. A little too crooked to the right. Okay, kind of good enough, but a little more up here. Way too crooked to the left. There we go. I say that's a good looking one.
Okay, hello.
Hello. So yeah, I pretty much just finished off Homecoming. Pretty much the return of Pepper Potts, and of course Aunt May now knowing that Peter is Spider-Man.
What the hell? Or she say, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think it'll be an every tradition to end the Spider-Man movie by someone saying, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah. And of course we cut with the post-credit with Toombs and Gargan.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I might have to stop here, and we'll pick off later with Thor Ragnarok another time, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm hoping maybe for next time we could bring in more people, because I was hoping maybe we could bring in Tony as well, so he could be pretty much be Captain America, and hopefully other people as well. So yeah, but anyway guys, hope you did enjoy this continuation of our journey through the MCU, because I've really been enjoying coming back and talking about the MCU movies, because like, of course, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, because I still need to also talk about the season 2 of The Mandalorian, and of course, hopefully when WandaVision is over, I can be able to talk about that as well. And don't worry, I'm making sure I'm gonna get this guy to watch WandaVision. Don't worry, I know a way. So yeah.
Dude, that's me.
Get that out of here. But anyway guys, hope you did enjoy this MCU discussion. So pretty much for next time, we will be reviewing Thor Ragnarok, and if we have the time, we could be able to talk about Black Panther. So yeah, so that's it for today guys. So this has been Hotshot Gamer
and Haku.
So yeah, now it's time for us to rev up and relax, and well, Avengers
I love how we have the same
assemble.
idea.
Assemble.